All right. So converting a rational expression, which is a expression with a fraction as an exponent, into a radical expression, which has this symbol. This is a formula for that. X to the m over n equals x to the m, and then the root is going to be n. We call this n the index and the m the exponent. The most basic one that you guys have worked with before is x to the 1/2 is equal to the square root of x. Typically, when the index is 2, we don't put it there. So if there's nothing there, then it's a square root, and we typically don't write the 2. But for example, you could theoretically do the cube root of, say, 27, which is what number times itself 3 times is 27? 3, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So 3 would be the cube root of 27. You can also do the cube root of negative numbers, because -3 times -3 times -3 would be -27. So you can do the cube root of a negative number. You can't square root a negative number. So let's look at this one here. We got 4 to the 3/2 power. So we're going to put 4 there. The index is 2. And then we're going to write the exponent of 3. So we have the square root of 64, which is 8. So that's just 8. So again, 4 to the 3/2 is the square root of 4 to the 3rd, which is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. And then the square root of 64 is 8. This one, we can just distribute it, write a 1 there. And then we got 9 to the 1/2 power. And then 1/2 times 2 is 1. So that's m to the 1st, or just m. 9 to the 1/2 power, again, is the same as the square root. So that would be the same thing as the square root of 9, which is 3m. And the other thing we talked about in class was rationalizing a fraction. You can't have a square root on the bottom. So here we multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 3. And then we get 5 root 3 over the square root of 9, which is 3. Right? Because root 3 times root 3 is the square root of 9, which is 3. So you leave our answer like that. However, what I forgot to talk about was if you have something like 1 minus root 2 in the denominator, then you're going to multiply the top and bottom by something known as the conjugate. So the conjugate is simply found by changing the symbol in the middle. So that conjugate is going to be 1 plus root 2. So we multiply the top and bottom by 1 plus the square root of 2, and then 1 plus the square root of 2. So then we distribute the 4. So we got 4 plus 4 root 2. And then here, we have to FOIL it out, which you've probably done before. So we do 1 times 1, which is 1. 1 times root 2 is plus the square root of 2. And then negative root 2 times 1, which is minus root 2. And then minus root 2 times root 2 is minus the square root of 4. So we're going to rewrite the top, which is 4 plus 4 root 2. And then the bottom of the fraction, the middle terms cancel out, and we get 1 minus the square root of 4, which is 2. So then we have 4 plus 4 root 2 all over negative 1. And that would be your final answer for that one.